It has been a while since I've opened up my game Wits End Labyrinth, and I didn't really have time to work on it because I was working on a lot of other projects. So today we're just going to have a little journey of me trying to figure out what I was doing, what are my tasks, and how can I prepare for a demo which I need to bring out soon since I want to apply for funding. So without further ado, let's get going. So here we are again in the project. Oof. I have a to-do list. I'm using Obsidian for documentation, which is absolutely great. I am probably going to use Trello for this in the future. If you're not familiar with Trello, it's really great for to-do lists. My game it's not, well, I would like to earn some money with it because I'm putting a lot of time in it, but I don't really see it as a commercial game, and I don't think it is. I don't think that it will be like super popular or that like everybody wants to play it, because it is maybe rather strange and I'm making definitely decisions that are not really in the interest of like all gamers, and sometimes I rather make artistic choices rather than, well, you know, game logical choices. I have made some changes since last time, if you viewed the other videos, that is. If you didn't, I'm just going to give you a quick intro. What you see here is a maze. It's automatically generating, and every time that the player spawns in here, it will generate a new maze. There are two types of blocks. There are the orange ones. They don't move. They will just spawn in and will be just the same always. There are the green ones, and as a player, you can move them. Your job is to go around in the maze and find little pieces of yourself. Not in a literal sense, but you will find pieces of your memory. You find trinkets that are connected to a memory, and then you learn a little bit about who you are and why you're here. I've added a character. I was able to use meta-humans from Unreal for this. And then I've generated a custom model. Don't mind the camera, that's just for me to see when we play the game. We don't see this. I'm just gonna drag it up and I'll undo it later. Okay, here we are. So this is our model. And you can see the hair looks a bit whack. That's because currently it's just rendering a very basic model of the hair, since we are playing this character. By the way, this is something that if you want to play the game and you don't want to know certain spoilers, these are not the best videos to watch. But so I'm just gonna, go over a lot of things that you may or may not want to see. This is the character that you're playing, and you begin out not seeing anything. And when you actually look in the mirror, a better version of this will render. She currently is very, very heavy to render because as you can see, it's a meta-human. She's very detailed and she's very cute. I really like the way that she turned out with the hair and everything. You can see there's two types of hair rendering. When you play, actually only one is rendering. Here we can see that there's another layer underneath. So this is the model that I've implemented. I'm just gonna go a couple steps back so we have the camera again in the right position. I have also implemented a lot of voice acting, and I believe my audio's on, so let's go and play out a scene. I am gonna put the scalability to medium, which means the game will not look as pretty as it might look when you're playing this on a fully spec'd computer. Not like mine at the moment, since recording, and I'm actually running on an older GPU. I need to buy a new computer. I've been working so much on this game that I haven't really been earning a lot of money. But it just means that I'll just have to do with some older gear. I did buy a computer for coding, a very cheap one, but it broke down within 3 days because that's just my luck. We'll do with what we have, and that is okay. At least now we know that if you run it on a computer that is like 3 to 4 years old, gaming computer, it will still it can run. Okay, here we are. It's currently loading. As you can see, it's loading textures and post-processing, rendering everything slowly. Let's play this out and see if everything still works.
Where am I? This room. It's empty, but it feels old and familiar. Nothing seems out of order, yet something's missing. It's as if invisible objects are whispering to me. I can't even tell who I am. How did I get here? I should probably try to find out.
The model is already implemented and it has animations. We can look down now. We can see ourselves. I probably will do something with a shader that I've already done some tests with. And I could maybe show you what that looks like. And then I will do something with this mirror. So when you click on it, you will actually be able to see whatever you have at that moment. So right now, the room is empty. It's white. It will become emptier and whiter because I recently added some assets that I still need to implement into the rest of the game. Every object that you don't see here, that you just saw before we started. If we go to look at this room over here, you see that there's a lot of stuff in there. That's because you find objects and you learn more about yourself. And when you start, you know nothing. Spoiler alert. Prop your ears if you don't want to hear this. This game is about a woman who has Alzheimer's. And she's kind of going through her childhood memories, and every time she wakes up, she doesn't know who she is, she doesn't know where she is, she doesn't have any recognition of the things around her. And the game resembles this by an empty space with white curtains, white walls, white everything, no objects, well, apart from, of course, right now. So I'm just gonna ignore these for now. And what will be in there is this cabinet with this lore, because this is the first clue. And in here, there's currently a written story. I will probably make some kind of audio with this, because I don't think many people read the whole story. I think that's fine. I think this should be an extra and not leading in the game, because I realized that, you know, just as in Skyrim, if you know Skyrim, some people read the books, and it's a very nice addition to the lore. But some people don't, and the game needs to be playable and enjoyable and lore rich without reading these. These are extra. And then we've got this little cute note, which I'm going to implement more. Currently, we don't have them in the maze yet, because I've been adding a lot of new assets that are new memories that will add more stuff to this room. These will be like notes or items that you can find. And then here, I decided to add some little bits of lore so you understand in which universe am I, what time is it. These two people, apparently they're important because they're on a calendar.
A maze. Maybe I'll find out what I seem to be missing.
Ooh,
there's always a way out. And
sorry for capping that. Okay, that's much better. We get to this maze and I don't know if I've already shown the house in my last videos, but here it is. I've built this from an image that I've generated describing this really old beautiful house, and I thought, wow, I thought it was so beautiful that I wanted to actually build it. So I've built a rough model, which I may remake or I may give more detail. But for now, I think it does the job. It feels like a house. It feels like someone could be living there. And it looks nice and old, which was what I was going for. Same for the trees. The models I could probably improve, but for now they do the job. They look slightly romantic and scary. That's what I was going for. And same for the roots. That was not a short introduction. That was a very, very long introduction with some old and some news. I'm just going to work a bit today and refine what the heck I was doing and what was important, the issues that I was running into. I need to make a playable demo and a trailer, but they're kind of going hand in hand. And I remember what I should focus on is making something that everybody could play and not get stuck in. Which means I probably have to simplify things, take out some things. I need to make some decisions. I will take some time now to go through my notes. Then I will start hacking away a little bit. So currently I'm checking GitHub because I'm syncing this project. I've already been working on it since May 2024. You know what I really would like to do? So I've added a lot of new layers to this. And now when you go into the first maze, randomly there should be some items spawning. New items instead of these, because these are just placeholders. For instance, the bed that she has, which has a story. Other small things that I've added. Oh, I added something so cute. Wait, look. I made a potato crate. Well, no, I don't think did I make the crate? I don't remember. I tend to sometimes make my own 3D meshes, but sometimes I don't, and then I mix them up. Where are the potatoes? I think I have the crate somewhere here. Here they are. Look how cute. Oh, it's so cute. Potato crate. Look at it. It's full of potatoes. I think the crate is a model that I got, looking at how good the textures look. And then the potatoes, that's what I made. It's not terribly great, but it's good enough, you know. When you look at it from this, you're like, those are definitely potatoes. That's all I was going for. And I needed to be simplified because you need to render this in the game with many other objects. So it needs to be as simple as possible. I'm running this now to check.
I've been here before. Some of these edges rotate.
And you probably noticed that. Oh, look. Ah, the bed is super small. We'll just write it down. I actually fixed this before and I made a mistake with my GitHub and I deleted a lot of changes. I was so pissed. I think this is why I didn't touch it for a couple weeks. I was through. Oh, look, there's a potato crate. Oh, it's so cute. It doesn't have a collider yet. I just think that it should be a stack of them with multiple crates. Because now it just looks a little bit lonely and maybe it needs an extra potato like laying around here. Let's see what's more out there. Hey, there's another one. I think I would like to avoid this, that there's more of them. Oh, I did actually add a slight tilt to it. This is 10, looks like 10. Ooh, the candle. That works out well.
My world just became a little brighter.
Cute.
Shouldn't use this too long or it'll burn up.
Oh yeah, that's what I should do. Actually, these are small things that I don't think I should focus on. But sometimes the big problems are hard to fix. And I will fix them over a longer span of time while I'm working on other small tasks so that I don't get completely demotivated. And then I'll get some things done. Oh, hello. Oh, okay, this is the carpet. I forgot what I was looking for and I already remembered. It is the potato crate. It's probably in here. Great. Attention span of a bug today. Looks really nice. I'm happy with this. It's cool. So let's see what that logic is about. I bet it's in the code where I'm just setting a size. Yeah, we're using a transform and we're getting this transform and the scale is set. I might need to do a little bit of debugging here. At first I thought I had to change the script. The more I was changing here, the more I realized that it would actually be way easier to just change the blueprints instead. I returned the script to its original state. So I added an extra pivot point and I made that a child. And then when I change the size of this, it will change the size of the object while leaving the original pivot intact. We finished our debugging and it should all work right now. So we've got the potato crates over here. Seem a good size, but a little small. But the bed is, well, it's bigger. This is too big. But that's good. The size has changed. So now I can play with it. I can go to pivot and say, let's do 0.3. That's still rather large. I mean, it is a bed. It is large, but I think this is too large. So 0.25. That's probably about it. And then I want it to be somewhat over there. Good. I'm now going to check the potatoes. They can be actually slightly bigger. All right, let's check out the potato boxes. Then where are they? They're here. I like it. That's nice. That's very nice. I had a bit of a break and I am back. I'm going to take some time to implement the bedroom items. So those are the items that you saw into the system. And I'll probably do this in silence since I need to think and calculate some things and set up everything. I'm adding the first interactions with the objects that will be in the scene by giving them tags and then basically calling them in this script. So I've just created this little bit of code. So now I'm going to go to the bedroom. I also don't know yet if this actually works because I haven't done it with trigger boxes yet. I'm trying to think of a way that will make this map more immersive because now it's a little weird. It's I'm thinking of doing some kind of Minecraft thing where it shows up in the hand. Here's the bed. That looks good. Oh, she jumps. Jump is really nice, but the hair is staying behind. There is something weird about that. Okay, I need to check what's going on with the hair. I know why this is. It's not connected to a socket. So that's another thing that I have to add to my list. The candle burn that I was talking about earlier, I'm probably not going to do because I feel like it's secondary for the cause. I think it's more important that you can actually find the items. I may have to do some research. I'm gonna dive into that again. I needed some kind of feedback from the object when I click on it so that I know that it actually responds to me. And I'm setting this up per object. Now that it has saved, we can go and check if that is actually spawning anything at all. I need to remove this from this list and I need to add them to this list. So I'm gonna add 3 entries for these guys. As soon as we have everything we want, we will have these only left and these, which will become more. And then I still have to add them to the bedroom as well. But for now, let's see if they spawn with simulate. Ooh, I have some errors. I forgot something. Yeah, I did. I need to make a new transform for that. Okay, let's do this. I actually took some time to go through my old logic because I realized I didn't actually know how I did it before and I may have to change a lot. Okay, so let's see if we actually got... Well, we got the bed. And is nothing overlapping? That's very important. So we got the crates. Oh, look, that is actually the house. Look how cute it is. See, I made it quite to the example. Right? Anyways, the bed is there. Okay, so that means this will work. Let's now try this. Oh, I can see myself now as well. I'm tiny, but I can see. What the fuck? Okay, this is actually kind of cool. I don't hate this. It's weird, but I don't know why they're here. Why are these potatoes here? That's so interesting. Probably just accidentally plopped them in somewhere. Where are the potatoes? Potato pot. Crazy potatoes. I have questions. That's so weird. I'll be right back. Right after I started coding, I actually realized that the reason why these potatoes were so huge is because I imported them with the wrong size. And when you import them, they automatically get placed in the scene. Well, that's good too. There seems to be potato crate. Wait, let's see, there's a rug as well. There's only one rug. There's only one potato crate. And there's only one bed. So far, so good. I actually designed a system for this completely from scratch because the old system that I had wasn't sufficient, and I've added bits of code that look at the position of each object and then compare them with the one that's already there. So I'm storing all this information and then later looking it up. If an object is already in that place, look for another spot. Alright, I'm back and I'm going to do an attempt to fix the last bit of this script. And then I think I'm gonna call it a day, because I've been doing quite a lot and I've been getting quite distracted because there's so much to do, and in my feeling so little time. Let's get back to the big screen where you can see my script still in there. I can see if I now run this that it is being called 3 times. So we need to somehow restrict it to just only go through the whole thing 1 time. Remember that thing that I did for the last script? I'm doing pretty much the same here, but then for the treasures instead of the other objects. We've done it. We've finally done it. This took actually quite some time. You don't really see this in the video, but I spent about a total of 6 hours just to program some things and figure out where things should go. With the amount of code that I have, sometimes I have to go through what I've already done and see where things are going through, because sometimes I have to alter them. So I did this, and now if we go and simulate, we can see that there's actually only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And there should be a 6 somewhere. Oh yeah, we see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is amazing. And I think as well we fixed the bed and all the other objects from just spawning once. So for a recap, what we did today, we made sure that the items that are in the bedroom spawn in the maze, not just as pickups, but actually as physical items. We have made sure that the items that spawn don't overlap anymore. And of course, I've introduced you to the wonderful world of potatoes. I'm interrupting this with a very, very nice message, which is that Wits End Labyrinth is now in the Steam store. You can go to Steam, type in Wits End Labyrinth, and find the game there. I'll also leave a link in the description, and you can of course find it on the website. So go ahead to Steam and wishlist the game if you would like to play it. Anyways, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and see you later.